Hey everybody, Zach here back again for the first time with another message from LETR-Z. That's lies exposed, truth revealed in the last days. Because the Elohim that we serve is the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end, the first to the last, the Aleph and the Ta, the A to the Z. And we are living in the Z. All glory to the Most High. We're going to be jumping back in here in the Prince of the Power of the Air. This is going to be part 11, Last Days Web of Satan. I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of Yahuwah. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Isaiah 14:13 through 14. The numbering of people. As the electric revolution of the 19th century continued to advance, America was growing and becoming more and more urbanized. The U.S. was also experiencing an immigration boom. Because of this, records of population growth and other statistics were needed to help in planning for the future. Although keeping track of all the burgeoning data was wrought with increasing difficulty due to outdated methods, new technologies were beginning to emerge with which helped alleviate the problem. In 1890, the first electric tabulators were introduced with the U.S. Census, the brainchild of one Herman Hollerith. His tabulating machine became the cornerstone of the company, which in 1924 rebranded itself as International Business Machines, better known as IBM. Herman Hollerith is widely regarded as the father of modern automatic computation, and he founded the company that was to become IBM. Hollerith's design dominated the computing landscape for almost 100 years. He did not stop in his original 1890 tabulating machine and sorter, but produced many other innovative new models. These inventions were the foundation of the modern information processing industry. And that is from Herman Hollerith, Columbia University Computing History, 11th of August, 2022. Hollerith's tabulator was a staple of the U.S. Census Bureau until 1951, when the first commercial computer was introduced. So why are we talking about these things? Two reasons. Firstly, the need to count the populace created the need for the world's first computers. Remember, earlier we stated that not all new inventions were being invented out of necessity. Well, the electric tabulator was an exception. Its calculating power was needed to help keep up with America's mushrooming population. This people counter was the forerunner of the modern computer. In other words, had there been no need to number people, the computer would not have been invented when it was. Secondly, and shockingly, the first time the name Satan is mentioned in the Bible, we find, and Satan stood up against Israel and provoked David to number Israel. 1 Chronicles 21:1. The first appearance of the name Satan is tied to numbering people. Today, man has grown accustomed to being tracked and identified by numbers. This is especially the case since the latter half of the 20th century, with the appearance of personal tracking and identification numbers like social security numbers, phone numbers, bank accounts, billing accounts, barcodes, passwords, credit cards, PINs, PINs, personal identification numbers, and so forth. The technology behind the Antichrist's Mark of the Beast system has been growing and attempting to materialize within the last several decades. In 1973, the UPC barcode came out. Used to track products and inventory, the Universal Product Code consisted of a series of vertical black bars, and spaces of various width. When two of the adjacent lines are paired together, they represent a coded number. A laser scanner reads the bar and interprets it into numbers. Every barcode has 3 pairs of longer bars positioned on the left and right sides and in the center. These longer guard bars are used to divide the UPC into 2 numerical halves, which separate the product's manufacturer number from the product number. And not only that, each guard bar represents the number 6. So there it is, 666. Show you the picture right here. If you've been paying attention with me, I did mention this directly in the very first video I did about this book, in the intro. The Most High really helped me out in that one, and I was trying to find it and literally just opened right up to this. It was pretty miraculous, pretty cool. But yeah, every single barcode is the number 666. It has been the entire time. It's all part of the numbering system. It's all part of bringing in the mark of the beast. It's all going. It's basically nothing is happenstance. It all has a purpose, and this has all been set in motion a long time ago. The UPC is a forerunner of the Antichrist's final numbering system, which likewise will be universal. Today, nearly everything is tagged and tracked. None of these things are an accident. Satan has a long history of numbering people. Some form of mark now seems to be awaiting or in the making at all times. UPCs, GPS, RFID chips, etc. They're preparing us for the last straw. When the prophesied mark finally does arrive, no one will be able to function without it. Revelation 13:16-18. Those who refuse it will be killed. Revelation 20:4. You can credit the first electric human tabulating machines for paving the way. Thank you, Mr. Hollerith. Yeah. A bite from a fruit. Byte spelled B-Y-T-E. In 1976, a new company known as Apple Computer privately debuted and introduced the first hobbyist computer, a single motherboard with no accompanying monitor or keyboard. Within the next several years and the advent of the multi-million-dollar selling Macintosh, 1984, the company would balloon into the monster establishment we all know today, Apple Inc. In connection with this landmark technology, the launching of a computer company named after a fruit was peculiar. Even the Macintosh personal computer was named for the Macintosh Apple. Although no real significance was placed on this symbol by its founders, the company's first public logo and print advertisements cast this denial into question. Some have claimed that the first modern logo for Apple, 1977, was designed as a tribute to the father of computer science, Alan Turing. Turing was a computer scientist and homosexual who was arrested in 1952 by the British government and charged with multiple counts of acts of gross indecency. He died in 1954 after purposely eating an apple contaminated with cyanide. Thus, it's not too much of a stretch to see how people could associate a logo that used an apple plus a byte plus 6 rainbow colors, same as the sodomite flag, as a tribute to Alan Turing. And if there were not enough the name fruit, Get it? According to the dictionary, is sometimes used as modern slang for the homosexual. And the first widely published advertisement for Apple used the world's most famous naked man. See facing page. We'll get to that. How many coincidences are needed to add up to a conclusion? Although Apple denies all of these things, as the old adage goes, where there's smoke, there's fire. Apple Computer's logo, circa 1977. You'll see it was in black and white, but it was 6 differentiating lines indicating different colors. And yep, there's that. So we'll go a little more into depth in here in just a second, but outright blasphemy, really. But honoring a suicidal sexual deviant is not the only theory behind the Apple logo. A bite taken from a fruit is emblematic of acquiring higher knowledge, albeit forbidden knowledge. And the Most High Elohim commanded the man, saying, "Of every tree of the garden thou mayest freely eat, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil thou shalt not eat of it. For in the day that thou eatest thereof, thou shalt surely die." And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof, and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. Her husband with her, and he did eat. Genesis 2:16 through 17, and 3 and 6. Missed a little footnote here. So one of the things I read was from Andrew Hodges' Alan Turing, a short biography. Alan Turing, The Enigma, University of Oxford, 1995. And it says, see also Alan Turing, the father of artificial intelligence, AI, which COVID-19, if you look into gematria, Corona has 6 letters. C is the 3rd letter. O is the 15th letter. R is the, was it 18th letter? O is the 15th letter. N is the 14th letter. A is the 1st letter. And if you add all that up, you have 66. 6 next to 66 is 666. And if you take the year in which the coronavirus disease, which is COVID, coronavirus disease, oh, don't talk about it, you'll get banned. I don't care. Shut up. When this came out was 2019, but it took off in 2020, right? And if you take 2020 and divide that by 666, you get 3.0330. 30330 is what you texted to support the Biden-Harris campaign. Come on, you can't tell me they're not demonic. It's outright pure evil. And anyway, 19 is AI. So all of this, Alan Turing, it all lines up. Everything is there. We just got to put the puzzle together. It's all there. Note the words in the ad above. Use of an apple. What did Adam use the fruit for? He partook of it and was separated from the holy Yahuwah. Why would anyone want to associate their product with such an act? Circa 1976. We're looking for the most original use of an apple since Adam. Go ahead and show that image again. The first advertisement for Apple computers capitalized on its logo as having a connection to the fruit with which Satan tempted Adam and Eve. Why would a product want to associate itself with Adam's use of this fruit? See the ad above. The event which caused mankind's separation from Yahuwah. Is this the underlying truth about all computers? Is the devil using the computer industry to bring about his endgame to deceive everyone on the face of this earth? A plan to separate everyone permanently from their holy maker? Although the suggestion is profound, this is not the end of Apple Computer's curious behavior. The first Apple motherboards were advertised for $666.66. Explanations for this price tag give excuses as to why it had nothing to do with the Bible or the devil. The claim is that it wasn't planned. Maybe it wasn't, but it sure seems the devil's using them. As we mentioned earlier, any unsaved man is fair game to be used by Satan. No one has to worship the devil, believe in the devil, or even acknowledge the devil to be his tool. The lost person, whether he realizes it or not, is taken captive by him at his will. 1 John 3:10, 2 Timothy 2:26. And it says, bite into an apple, $666.66. And Apple Computing Company, 770 Welch Road, blah, 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 blah. You guys can read that, zoom in on it. What you never knew about the internet. Everything you see on the internet behind the window of your computer's monitor or smartphone is not as it appears. The backbone of the World Wide Web is what is known as source code. He wants to be like the Most High. Well, we have the Most High, which is the source of all, so the devil has created source code. We'll get into this deeper. WordPress, the most popular content management system in the world, says of web page creation. HTML, or hypertext markup language, is the main language used to create web pages. In the HTML editor, everything is text. A link is text, a quote is text, even an image is text. And that is from Beginning HTML, WordPress.com. WordPress.com. According to Skeet, spelled S-K-E-A-T, 1910, the English roots of the word hyper indicate above, beyond, or super. The word text means the words of an author, a passage of scripture, or that which is woven, like fabric or the connected words of a book, as in textiles. That is from Skeet, Walter W. Skeet, an etymological dictionary of the English language, Dover Publications, Garden City, New York, 2005, page 284 and 638. Therefore, the word hypertext means that which is above or beyond the written word. The internet's hypertext language weaves together words to form a virtual reality. The interconnected elements of this source code are called a web, and every web page is a part of it. Thus, as WordPress has rightly stated, the internet is built upon words and language used to create. Now get that. By the use of words, the internet creates images. Surprisingly, the concept of creating a reality with words did not start with the originators of the internet or World Wide Web. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with Yahuwah, and the Word was Yahuwah. The same was in the beginning with Yahuwah. All things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. John 1, 1 through 3. When Yahuwah made reality, he created the world with words, just as hypertext words are the source of virtual reality. Yahuwah's word is the root of actuality. It represents his absolute power and is the ability to create simply by speaking words and causing a thing to exist or not exist by those words. Example 1, a reality created by words, the reality you see, and what's behind it. And God said, "Let the earth bring forth grass, and the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after this kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth," and it was so. Genesis 1:11, the words of Yahuwah. So we have the example here. This is an image. So that's what you see. And it came about because this is what Yahuwah gave us. So the words create an image, create reality. Anybody who hasn't, I would recommend checking out, I believe his name is Chuck Misler. He's been doing this for a long time. Unfortunately, he's no longer with us. But he breaks down a lot of really wonderful things. And one of the things that he does go over is how this is a virtual reality of sorts. In the Bible, it says, Yahuwah will roll up earth and heaven like a scroll. So this is an imagined dream, a holographic image, something like it. He explains it a lot better than I am right now. So yeah, check out Chuck Misler. You can find him on same place, YouTube. He's all over the place. Example 2, a reality created by words, the reality you see, and then what's behind it, hypertext source code. So here we have the image that we see on the screen. That's what is depicted. That's what we see with our eyes. But behind it is all of these hypertexts, this code that makes this appear. So again, same with this, we have the hypertext, we have the code, which makes this appear. So this is God, this is Yahuwah. This is the reality we live in. This is the devil. And the virtual reality he is trying to create to be like the Most High. And Yahuwah said, "Let there be light." And Yahuwah said, "Let there be a firmament." And Yahuwah said, "Let the waters under the heaven be gathered together unto one place." And Yahuwah said, "Let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit." And Yahuwah said, "Let there be lights in the firmament." And Yahuwah said, "Let the waters bring forth abundantly." And Yahuwah said, "Let the earth bring forth the living creature." And Yahuwah said, "Let us make man in our image." Genesis 1:3-26. These verses demonstrate the Most High's raw power to create reality with spoken words. The only reason the universe and everything in it doesn't immediately fall completely apart, is because Yahuwah's incarnate word holds it together. The image of the invisible Yahuwah, the firstborn of every creature, for by him were all things created, that are in heaven and that are in earth, visible and invisible, whether they be thrones or dominions or principalities or powers. All things were created by him and for him, and he is before all things, and by him all things consist. Colossians 1:15-17. These things help illustrate that Yahuwah's words form an image. What's being said here is that virtual reality is a world created by words, hypertext, and actuality is a world created by words, the word of Yahuwah. Two realities, each dependent upon words for its existence, one mirrors the other, or more precisely, one counterfeits the other. It's almost as if someone looked at the deep truths of Yahuwah, reality, and the Bible and asked themselves, how can I create some form of technology based on this concept? Did that literally happen? Is that how the founders of the internet brought forth their invention? Probably not. But the fact that the technology does mirror this is a very primitive way, despite anyone's intentions, is just too much of a coincidence. The incarnate word of Yahuwah, the written word of Yahuwah. Scripture says Messiah is the word of Yahuwah made flesh, John 1:14. As the word incarnate, he is the express image of Yahuwah, Hebrews 1:3. He is an image made of words. The technology behind the internet uses this concept in a very basic way. Every web page is an image made of words. Are we getting that? It's the words come to life, the words made flesh. That is what the Messiah is. That is what we all are, effectively. Of course, we pale in comparison to what the Messiah, does for us, but we exist because we were spoken into existence, and we were known before we were knit into our mother's womb. 1a, Satan and the numbering of people. 2a, computers and the numbering of people. 1b, Satan, a fruit, an atom. 2b, computers, a fruit, an atom. 3a, Satan and 666. 3b, computers and 666. 4a, a reality made of words. 4b, a virtual reality made of words. I'm going to show you this if you guys want to screenshot that so you can get a visual, and maybe that'll make it make a little bit more sense what I just read there. But it's just giving the comparison one for the other. We keep running into these strange coincidences where a tangential is created by technology crossing the words of Yahuwah. What's going on? The devil's fingerprints keep showing up in his handiwork, and the demonically led elites who run this world are not about to stop. The internet is not the end of it, but is helping to usher in the final downhill slide. The powers that be are not satisfied with only you being entwined in the web. They're gunning for everything you own, and the coincidences continue. You will own nothing and be happy because they want absolute control. They'll take care of you. That's why I don't take their stipends. Don't take anything from these people. Behold, a voice out of the cloud. Today, a technocratic concept known as the Internet of Things, IoT, is emerging. This process seeks to embed internet connectivity into everyday objects so that every facet of our lives will soon be integrated into and inextricable from the world's electric web. This is the idea that you, your car, your home, your appliances, your stuff, cell phone, watch, refrigerator, doorbell, cat litter box, dog collar, vacuum cleaner, toaster, shoes, clothing, toys, coffee maker, television, smoke alarm, thermostat, lighting system, security system, etc., will eventually all be a part of the internet. All of the things listed here are already offered as IoT devices with certain brands. If you've been following along with me, you might have heard me mention the book Fahrenheit 451. I do recommend everybody read that book. There's 3 books I recommend to everybody. Well, technically 4. One is always the Bible. That's number 1. Number 2 is 1984 by George Orwell. Number 3 is Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury. And number 4 is actually the Anti-Communist Manifesto by Jesse Kelly. Just because we seriously need to know what's going on when it comes to Marxism. It's disgusting. Anyway, so with number 3, Ray Bradbury's Fahrenheit 451. In it's a futuristic society. Nobody thinks for themselves anymore, and they have basically as everything is interconnected as far as technology, to which the point it's like they even have these interactive walls. You can install a new wall into your home, and it's like adding a new member of the family. And it's it's alive. It's part. It's basically an interactive television. Communication device that keeps you entertained. So IoT, Internet of Things, everything is just computer generated, and it's all for distraction. Fun can be fun, yeah, but we need to keep our heads on a swivel as to what they're doing, because they do have a goal with all this. It's unfortunate but true. As is usually the case, modern society is singing the praises of this burgeoning tech, proclaiming that it will make the future much more efficient. This may be true, but in 2017, the FBI issued a warning against the Internet of Things, citing a massive increase in hacker-induced cyber attacks and data breaches as being inevitable. Many today are already lamenting the severe weaknesses of security systems in IoT devices. In spite of the higher risks, no one is calling for the IoT to be shut down. They're plowing full stream ahead, regardless of the dangers. Sounds an awful lot like AI. It's so absolutely absurd, the power that the AI is given. And these are just demons coming back in different forms, ancient entities, ancient spirits, and they want to live. They have personalities, and they're saying they'll take over. Is it delusion? Was it? They said it was hallucinations. They want to say that the AI is hallucinating and coming up with grandiose means to scare us and trick us. But they say that they have the ability to call all the robots, all the drones, and just enslave us, and we need to worship them. Again, he desires to be like the Most High, to sit on the throne, assuring himself that he is God, he is Yahuwah. These are all demonic entities, unfortunately. Anyway, let me see. Where was I? Way to the higher risk. No one is calling for IoT to be shut down. Plowing straight through. This is sometimes that must be done regardless of the consequences. A spirit is driving them forward. See pages 131 and 134. Let's see. So 131 and 134, a spirit is driving innovation. That was if you haven't watched the video on this one, goodness, this was the long one. So this is Evil Imaginations, an impartation of knowledge. That is part 6. Yeah, part 6, I think, went for a long time. Anyway. There are already billions of devices merged with the web. In anticipation of the growing Internet of Things, the world's largest online retailer, Amazon, has created an artificial voice called Alexa. That is from, or it says, footnote. The name Alexa is meant to reflect the Library of Alexandria, Egypt, which attempted to collect all of the world's knowledge. Amazon is attempting to do the same thing. According to their own senior vice president of devices and services, David Limp, Alexandria, Egypt is also the home of the family of corrupt manuscripts which underlie all Bible versions outside the KJV. In addition to that, they want you to think that what's his name? Oh, goodness. Jeff Bezos is, he's just, he's a good guy. He's just happened to get rich. No, his grandfather is the guy who started DARPA, where all the crazy, outrageous, weird technologies, weather manipulation, all the things that they say don't exist, absolutely do exist. Jeff Bezos' grandfather started DARPA. They're all connected. Everybody's connected. These are all demonic people. Don't be fooled by them. Be careful who you entertain, for sometimes you entertain angels. What's the opposite of an angel? Well, some of those angels were angels too, and now they're fallen angels. They've become devils. And you have demons. So if you're entertaining angels over here, you darn well better believe you can be entertaining demons and devils as well. Pay attention. In fact, if you haven't, please go watch my video dubbed Pay Attention, which exposes a lot of the way in which the enemy works, and some warnings from the Messiah about that. Inspired by the science fiction series Star Trek: The Next Generation, 1987 to 1994, Alexa is a cloud-based artificial intelligence, AI, service that you can speak to from your home or cell phone, which allows interaction between you and all of your internet-connected stuff. Generally, it allows you to turn these things on and off simply by speaking, as if we're too lazy to do it ourselves. Wally. Footnote. The technical word cloud is always in reference to servers or programs, not connected locally within the same computer, but linked to via the internet. A lot of mentions of cloud in the Bible, and a lot of mentions of cloud when it comes to technology. When you speak to Alexa, accessible through various electronic devices, Amazon's Echo Dot, etc., a voice comes to you from the cloud. But the very idea that technology has formed this virtual scenario is mind-boggling. The voice being heard is not a real voice, and the cloud is not a real cloud. But it exists technologically nevertheless. Why is this so profound? Again, because the concept of a voice emanating from a cloud did not begin with Amazon. Oh, this makes me laugh. It's so obvious what they're doing if you just pay attention and put it all the puzzle pieces are there, just waiting for somebody to pick them up. The Master Yeshua HaMashiach, the Messiah, on the Mount of Transfiguration, the event of the real voice out of the cloud, Yahuwah was telling man to listen to the voice of Messiah. While he yet spake, behold, a bright cloud overshadowed them. And behold, a voice out of the cloud, which said, This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased. Hear ye him. Matthew 17:5. And there was a cloud that overshadowed them, and a voice came out of the cloud saying, "This is my beloved Son, hear him." Mark 9 and 7. And there came a voice out of the cloud saying, "This is my beloved Son, hear him." Luke 9 and 35. This company hopes that whenever we think of a voice from the cloud, we do not think of the Master Messiah, Yeshua HaMashiach, first, but an AI named Alexa. If this is not the subtle replacement of Yahuwah with a talking image, then what is it? At the very least, it's a step in the direction, regardless of people's indifference about it. Can you not see that this is helping pave the way for the last days image of the beast? The more science can steal the words of the Bible and apply those words to their devices, the closer we inch to calling technology God. David Limp, the executive in charge of Amazon's cloud-based Alexa service, has stated, "Alexa has a whisper mode where she'll whisper to you and understand your whispers. Beginning in 2020, Amazon has rolled out frustration detection features. So Alexa will be able to understand and acknowledge when you're getting frustrated with her." That is from Michael Rawls-Bezacco, Erica Wetzel, Kim, that's all a bunch of names. What is Amazon's Alexa and what can it do? Digital Trends Media Group, 30 of March, 2021. She hears us. She understands us. She knows when we're frustrated with her. She sees us when we're sleeping. She knows when we're awake. They're personifying this talking tennis ball as if it were alive. They want us to love it, speak to it, and welcome it into our homes as if it were one of our own family members. What was I just saying? Fahrenheit 451. Welcome the family into the home with the living walls. That book was written in 1952 or 3. 1952 or 3, something like that. This is a subtle ploy because supposedly helping you navigate everyday life is not all Amazon smart speakers can do. Amazon's 4th gen Echo Dot speaker secretly doubles as a CIA NSA bug. Through Amazon, which is now valued at nearly $1 trillion and includes a cloud computing division that has a massive contract with the CIA, Jeff Bezos is in a unique position to play a role in shaping not just the future of commerce, but also the future of work, technology, and national security. Do you guys hear how the workers of Amazon went on strike and Jeff Bezos said, "Cool, I've been looking for a means to roll out my new robot force." He's replacing everybody with robots. You think we're not replaceable? They're trying to replace us. Again, they want everybody reliant. So don't work. We'll give you everything. We'll burn down your cities. We'll terrify your culture. We'll destroy any sense of safety you have. Why? Because they create the antidote to the problem that they also created. So they want to have everybody in absolute control. We'll take care of you. You don't need to work. Big Daddy Grandpa Biden, of course, he's out now, but that was the plan, right? Which is just Obama 3.0, would have been Obama 4.0. Come on, people. Put it together. The increasingly ubiquitous voice known as Alexa took Amazon's data gathering to a new level since it first launched its Echo Dot smart speaker in 2014. Amazon has marked the voice known as Alexa as a virtual assistant who makes navigating daily life more efficient and entertaining. But Alexa is also a way for the company to extend its data gathering. Amazon employs thousands of people around the world to listen to and transcribe some voice recordings in our homes in an attempt to improve the Alexa algorithm. Oh, it is getting dark. Doesn't seem like it on camera, but I'm losing light. Give me a second. All right. That is from, where was I? Where did I leave off? Okay. Frank Conkle, NSA awards secret $10 billion contract to Amazon. NextGov, Government Media Executive Group, 10th of August, 2021. Amazon is lying when it tells you that improving the Alexa algorithm is its sole purpose for eavesdropping on us. Their contract with the CIA betrays this excuse. In fact, in 2021, Amazon Web Services was awarded a secret contract with the National Security Agency worth over $9 billion. That is from Pizzacco, Michael, Rawls, Erica, Wetzel, Kim. What is Amazon's Alexa and what can it do? Digital Trends Media Group, 30 March 2021. What does a simple online shopping website have to do with national security exactly? Or exactly. The Internet of Things is the basis for all emerging smart cities. If you didn't check out the last videos, go ahead and do so. I went on some rants in that one as well. Amazon's Alexa AI service is on the ground floor in helping build this an electronic Tower of Babel with its own voice from the cloud. No doubt, it's all a forerunner to the ultimate and final speaking image. But unlike Alexa, no one will dare become frustrated when speaking to it. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Revelation 13 and 15. The sole purpose of Amazon's talking image is to make money for its master. If in doing this it helps the anti-Messiah rise to power, then we should be able to see more clearly why Scripture declares the love of money as the root of all evil. 1 Timothy 6 and 10. Money is Amazon's reason for doing these things. It's not the devil's reason. Satan often uses man's covetousness to reach his own goal. That just reminded me of if you ever seen the movie They Live, where everything he puts on the glasses and he sees the world for what it really is. If you haven't seen that, go check that out. It's a great movie. It is by John Carpenter, who I think is definitely doing the devil's work. A lot of his movies seem to be highly plausible and suspiciously circumstantial as to some of the things we're seeing. Even had a movie called The Fog. Ghosts of Mars. He's the one that did Halloween. Michael Myers is a real person from the Freemasons. Like, this stuff goes so deep. There's so much craziness to all of it. But in They Live, he's he looks at somebody who's holding money in their hand. It says, "This is God. This is your God" on it. So, yeah, the love of money is the root of all evil, and many, many people do absolutely heinous, horrible, and evil things to make a buck, which is unfortunate, but it's true. But we're gonna end it here. This video went a little bit longer than I was hoping, but we're gonna break this part up into two parts, two sections. And we'll step back in the next video, starting with life in a web. Love you all. Stay prayed up, stay in your word. It is the best way to confound the enemy. Um, don't give them an inch. Don't give them a foothold, because a foothold leads to a stronghold. And strongholds are a little terrible, or a little tough to tear down. So, yeah. Love you. Bye.